All right, have you ever just stopped and looked at a giant tree and thought, how in the world does it get water from way down in the ground all the way up to those top leaves? I mean, it's a massive feat of engineering, right? And it's happening constantly, all around us. Well, the secret is this incredible, silent, invisible engine, and it basically powers our entire planet. So let's break down exactly how it works.
Okay, to kick things off, I want to hit you with a number that's kind of hard to wrap your head around. 400,000 gallons. So what is that? Well, get this. That's how much water a single acre of corn can pump out into the air in just one growing season. To put that in perspective, that's enough water to flood that entire acre with a lake 15 inches deep. Just wild. So, this brings us to the central mystery, right? Because this isn't some leaky faucet. Plants are actively, purposefully pumping all this water out. But why? Why are they constantly sweating out so much of it? The answer is, well, it's one of the most important processes in all of nature. Okay, so to really get a handle on why they do it, we first have to understand how they do it. We're talking about this process that's like an invisible engine, the thing that keeps the whole plant running. And that engine has a name. It's called transpiration. Now, at its core, it's pretty simple. It's just water evaporating from the plant's leaves. But here's the magic trick. That simple act of evaporation creates this powerful vacuum, this incredible suction force. It's basically like a giant, super long straw, pulling water all the way up from the soil. So let's follow a single water molecule on its journey, right? It all starts at the roots. Step 1, absorption from the soil. Then, for step 2, it gets transported up the stem through these tiny little tubes, kind of like the plant's plumbing, called the xylem. Once it gets to a leaf, that's step 3, it evaporates inside the leaf, turning into water vapor. And finally, step 4, that vapor escapes out into the atmosphere through these thousands of tiny little pores called stomata. And the coolest part, each molecule leaving pulls the one behind it, creating this continuous chain of water moving from the ground right up into the sky.
Okay, that all sounds great in theory, but transpiration is totally invisible, right? You can't see it happening. So how do we know it's happening? How can scientists actually measure a process that we can't even see with our own eyes?
Well, you can actually see the effect of this pull with a really simple experiment. Imagine you take a leafy shoot and stick it in a test tube full of water. Then you pour a thin layer of oil on top. Now, that oil is key. It stops the water from just evaporating into the air on its own. And what happens? Over time, you'll see the water level drop. The only way out for that water was through the plant. It's proof that the leaves are actively sucking it up and releasing it.
And there are other cool tricks, too. You can take this special paper. It's called cobalt chloride paper, which is blue when it's dry. If you tape a piece of it to the underside of a leaf, guess what? It slowly turns pink. Why? Because it's picking up the invisible water vapor being released by the leaf. Pretty neat, huh? But, of course, precisely measuring it is a whole other ballgame. Scientists use these devices called potometers, and they're pretty clever, but they do have their limits. For one, they're actually measuring how much water the plant takes up, not just what it transpires. And honestly, they can be really finicky to set up, the cut twig doesn't last long, and even a small change in room temperature can throw off the reading. So it's not a perfect system.
Now, this invisible engine doesn't just run at one constant speed. Think of the environment around the plant as a set of control dials, constantly turning the rate of transpiration up or dialing it way down. And honestly, it's all pretty intuitive. Just think about drying your laundry outside. What works best? A sunny, hot, windy day, right? Well, it's the exact same for plants. More light opens up those little stomatopores. Higher temperature means faster evaporation, and wind blows away the moist air right around the leaf, speeding things up. On the other hand, what happens on a really humid day? Your clothes take forever to dry. Same for the plant. Transpiration slows way down. And of course, if there's no water in the soil to begin with, the plant is smart. It closes up those pores to conserve what it has, basically putting the brakes on the whole process. So, given that these environmental dials can swing from one extreme to another, it's absolutely no surprise that plants have evolved these incredible, specialized strategies to survive in either super dry or super wet conditions. And what we have here is a tale of two extremes. On one side, you've got your xerophytes. Think cacti and other desert plants. They are master water conservers. They've got thick, waxy coatings to seal in moisture, their pores are sunken in little pits to trap humid air, and they have tiny, rolled, or even needle-like leaves. Then, on the complete opposite side, you have hydrophytes, plants that live in water. They have the opposite problem, right? They're designed for abundance. No need for a waxy cuticle. Their pores are just on the top of the leaf, wide open to the air. It's just amazing. Two completely different environments, two perfectly engineered solutions. All right, here's a quick but really important clarification. You know how sometimes in the early morning you see perfect little droplets of water on the tips of leaves? You might think that's dew or maybe transpiration, but it's actually neither. That's a totally different process called guttation. So let's be clear. Transpiration is invisible water vapor coming out of stomata. Guttation is liquid droplets full of salts and minerals being forced out of different pores, usually at night when transpiration is super low. Two different things.
Okay, so we've covered the how and the where of this amazing process. But now let's circle all the way back to the biggest question we started with. Why? Why on earth does a plant go to all this trouble, moving, and then just releasing hundreds of gallons of water?
Because the answer is it's not a waste at all. In fact, transpiration is an absolutely critical multi-purpose tool for survival. First off, it's the plant's personal air conditioning system. It cools the leaves down so they don't literally cook in the sun. It's also the engine that provides the suction force to pull up vital minerals and nutrients from the soil along with the water. And get this, on a global scale, the sheer amount of water vapor released by massive forests actually helps create clouds and can influence weather patterns. It's incredible.
When you really think about it, it's a process that is both so elegantly simple and, at the same time, profoundly powerful. Transpiration isn't just about one plant trying to stay hydrated. It is truly a silent, invisible force that connects the soil right beneath our feet to the sky way above our heads. It's the engine that powers our entire green planet.